How's it going? Edison here. I'm going over 400 cards that I'm submitting to CGC before they raise the prices. This is going to be happening around February 16th, I believe. They're raising the prices around like 20-30%, which is a pretty significant margin if you want to grade bulk cards. But like regardless of that, I'm just trying to get in as much as possible. So this is a 400 card order. Like this fills out one of these long boxes that CGC gives you for, I think like 50 graded cards come back in this. But I filled one of these with 400 raw cards. And I kind of broke them up. I'm just going to go over them, show you what I'm submitting, kind of show you my thought process, and kind of explain some stuff along the way. The first type of card that I'm going to go over are going to be express with subgrades. For reference, this cost me around $30 to get the express grading with the subgrades on it, which is a lot per card, but when you kind of see what I'm going to send in this way, it'll make a lot of sense. So the first one is this Clefairy card. It's a full art with Lily and the Dream League promo stamp there. This card's really expensive nowadays. I mentioned it in my haul video from January that I picked these up for around $25 a piece. So, like, just very quick math, the $25 that I paid plus the $30 grading fee for express, like that's, I think, still half the price of a raw card right now. So in my mind, just getting these express, getting them out on the market graded fast I'm still way ahead of where the current price of the card is. So I can't really lose submitting this one in raw and express. Next up is Kanazawa Pikachu. This is the reverse holo promo, which comes from like the Kanazawa box. I'll put a picture up of it. I've shown it off in a different haul. That box is really expensive now. It's only gone up in price since I've talked about it. So yeah, this is another one. High value Pikachu promo. I might as well just get this expressed. And a big issue that I'm running into right now is I have no cards to put on eBay. Like I've sold out of more or less all the graded cards I have, and I'm just waiting on so many CGC returns that I need to expedite some orders to come back to get product and inventory. So yeah, Kanazawa Pikachu reverse holo. Next up, we have Misty's Tears. This is like the same idea with the Clefairy, where what I paid for these cards plus the express grading, for these is a little different. This one I paid like $10 a piece. With express grading, it'll come out to around like $40 a piece, which is still right around like the current price of the raw card. So I can't really lose expressing some of these in. So yeah, the Pikachu, the Misty's Tears. This one's gone up like crazy. This is the signed Marnie promo. Talked about it in January. I told people to buy it because it can only go up from here. I wasn't wrong. This card I picked up for $35 in January. Actually, late December I picked up for $35. Right now, raw, it's over $100. So same thing. What I pay for this card plus the express grading is still not the cost of the raw card now. I'm still out ahead by a huge margin. So yeah, the Marnie. And the last example is Pokemon Center Ladies. Same exact idea. Pick these up for $20 a piece. Raw, they're $70 now. My raw price plus grading is still beneath the current raw value. So I'm just so far out ahead already, I can afford to express some and just get a faster turnaround time for these types of cards. And these will do well. Like I don't doubt that these types of waifu cards and exclusive promos will do well for me. So the next tier of cards is going to be bulk with no subgrades. For reference, as of the time of me submitting this video, or like recording it, it costs me $6.80 to submit a card with bulk, in bulk. So just have that as you're looking at all these cards. Just remember, it costs $6.80 per card that you're going to see. And a lot of these cards make a lot of sense. So yes, just starting off, Shadowless Squirtle. Not a highly valuable card, but it's a Shadowless starter. First edition War Turtle. This one is a little beat up, but no subgrade. Just get it graded. Even if it's like a $25, $30 card on my eBay, they'll sell fast. It'll get feedback. I think that's like a good way of doing it. Just have rotating inventory. Do Gunk Shadowless. And a lot of these cards, I personally think, will sell for a lot easier graded. Ghastly Shadowless, Tangela Shadowless. And if you're curious where I got these Shadowless cards, I posted a video in December of $5,000 Japanese like Pokemon purchases, stuff that I had purchased like on Japanese auction sites. And this is one of the things I bought was a not complete, but someone's Shadowless binder. And it just had all these cards. And so far, I'm looking like I'm really out ahead for what I paid for that binder. And the direction Shadowless has gone, it hasn't slowed down. This is one of my favorite arts from base set, just Shadowless Onyx. And if you haven't like seen the difference between Shadowless and Shadowed, I mean, obviously you're missing the shadow beneath the portrait, but the actual back color, like the actual color of the card is way different. I do recommend you like just get some versions in hand just to see, but I do prefer shadowless cards in general. Not just because they're more valuable, I just like the color of the background. Next up, these I purchased in that same video. It's just a mix of Japanese Neo Destiny, Neo era holos. I'm going to go through these pretty quick. So Dark Gengar, really nice Espeon, a Jungle Jolteon, Jungle Flareon. The lot that I picked up all of these holos from, you can watch that video, but I'll say it here too. I paid around like $4.50 a card altogether. Actually, a little bit less than that. I paid less than that. I paid probably closer to $4 a card. So yeah, just think of it as reference, $4 plus $6 grading. They're not in the best shape, like I'll admit that, and that's mostly the reason why I'm getting no subgrades. But same idea with those shadowless. These are fan favorite cards, just to get them graded, slide, put on the eBay. I think there's definitely some people who would be really excited to pick these up for like $25, $30 a piece, even in a lower grade. Well, all right, that's it for the Neos. Next up are these shiny Sudowoodos. This is like a spec that I did months ago, maybe in like September or October. I purchased them and talked about it. Just some baby shinies. So Sudowoodo was like $1 a piece when I bought them. So I'm just gonna send 4 in. So like my total cost is gonna be like $8 to get those graded. Next up is a lot of Charizard Vs. These are from the Japanese half decks. These have like done really well for me. So I'm just gonna send in the rest of the Charizard Vs that I have. Here's some like kind of miscellaneous. Web Series. If you don't know, Web Series just has the web logo on the bottom. Japanese exclusive set. The artwork is reprints. I should mention, but it's a fairly rare set, only released in Japan, and this is the cool first edition one. I think Unlimited was a little bit rarer, but people do like seeing that first edition stamp. Web Doug Trio, Web Diglett, Web Growlithe, Web Slowpoke. I love this artwork. Next up, we have some. I don't actually know. I'm not going to say like what's up next. I don't know the order I put this stuff in. We have an Inkay, shiny Inkay. Ooh, 2. Shiny Sobble from Ultra Shiny GX. A shiny Lapras. This is like those baby shinies I paid $1 for. So I'm just going to send in a bunch of Matangs now. So 4 Matangs. 1, 2, 3. 3 Beldums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Shuppets. And like for reference too, $6.80 to grade, and I paid I think $1 a piece for these. So yeah, I'm in at like less than $8 per card. Here we have Centiskorch VMAX shiny. Here is the Neo Promofile Entei, just a nice reverse holo. This might be a card that's worth subgrading, but even without it, I think this is a good one. That one's gone up a lot in raw price. I kind of think that one's gone up because the file itself got more expensive, because of the Charizard in it. Not necessarily because this artwork's that great. It came in English too. But just because the file itself went up in price and it's the only way to get that card. It just goes along with it. Shiny Pheromosa, 2 of them. I paid $1 a piece for these from Facebook. I think I paid $2 for the Malamars. I got these from just opening some premium collections for myself. And this is like some backlog Evolutions cards that I have and I just never submitted. Blastoise. And Evolution's EXs are still really good to submit now, just because Evolution booster box prices are insane. Yeah, so those. This is a Pichu reverse holo from the premium file as well. Random secret rare. Even this is, as I said, $30 card after grading. It's fine. I'll just throw it up on eBay. Just for like the random, maybe there's 1 or 2 people in the world that want that, or in the US. It's fine. I'm fine to sit on a card like that. Mewtwo GX from Shining Legends. Pidgeot EX from Evolutions. Secret rare. The full art Moltres Zapdos Articuno from Hidden Fates. Then just capping this off with some more Web Series. Yeah, pretty simple stuff. But a lot of this stuff, like my general rule of thumb is, if the card is going to be less than $50 after grading, which I think a lot of these will be, you don't have to go subgrades. Because if you think about it, $50, $5 for the subgrades, that's 10% of your value of the card. And also, in my opinion, if the card's like around this price point, the subgrades don't really make or break the sale. It's really just going to be dependent on like people buying the card because it's slabbed, not really because they care about the grade. That does affect it, but I don't think the subgrades really do matter for these lower end cards. And a majority of the submission is going to be my bulk cards with subgrades. I think this is like right under 300 cards that's bulk with subgrades. So it's going to take quite a while to go through. So just be a little patient with me. The first pile that we're going to start off with, like this is a small pile. You're going to see a lot of cards I've talked about already on the channel. I've stressed that I think this is good pickups, and I'm just kind of like re-showing that stuff. So it might be a little boring if you've seen all my other videos, but if not, I think it's still interesting. Sending in, I think 15 or 16 oh no, I think I've raised it to 20 Charizard VMAXs. Yeah, 20 Charizard VMAXs from Japan. This comes out in a Japanese half deck. But yeah, come on. Like this card, I'm still surprised that the raw price is where it's at compared to like what a 9 is going for, what a 9.5 is going for. Same exact art in English. Maybe a fourth of the price of the English raw copy now. But I just bought a lot of them, as you can see. And they're all pretty good condition. I'd be surprised if any get below like an 8. I'd say most of them are 9 to 9.5s, which is what I want. Like, that's how I think about it too. What's my minimum accepted grade that I could still make money? And that's what I'm willing to pay for the card. And even in 8.5s, I'm making money on this. So, you know, if I get a 10, I would be so excited. If I got 110, I think it pays off like 10 cards, 10 of the Charizards. All right, next up are some E-reader holo rares that I got. I purchased these from just a random shop in Japan. They were like moderately priced. They were right around market, but that shop has done good to me in the past with the quality of the cards. So like I kind of knew that they were going to be in good condition. So I'm going to get these graded. And these are good cards. Like E-reader stuff is fairly hard to come by, and people love the art. Lantern. I think this is Ledian. Victory Bell. It's one of my favorite Dugong arts. Really beautiful Azumarill art, like Azumarill in Venice. Octillery, which is one of my favorite Pokemon. Nice Tentacruel. Nice little Sudowoodo with a swirl up there. We saw this in a December video, I think. Maybe I didn't show this on camera. I don't think I showed this on camera. Here is a Poliwrath Japanese base set, but it's the rarer no rarity version, which is considered the first print of Japanese base set. So kind of the first edition of Pokemon. And because Japanese base set was the first print, the first run of Pokemon TCG, you know, this is really the first card. Like this is from the first run of the Pokemon card game ever printed. Here is one of the really rare, and people love this card, McDonald's Umbreon promos. This is just a McDonald's promo exclusive Japan artwork with the E-reader border, McDonald's logo on the bottom. Beautiful card. Espeon from, I don't remember which Neo set this is. Love the artwork. I'm submitting a bunch of illustrated Charizards. I mentioned this in my December video. I purchased 60 of them. And I just, you know, these cards will just do better for me graded. So I'm just going to send them all in. Next up, we have this Pika promo. It was for the Astonishing Volt Tackle set in Japan. This is just the one that I had a bunch of when they were $3 a piece. This is like the last couple that I have. So beautiful artwork. Japan exclusive as well. Pikachu holding the flower. This card's heating up like crazy. Kanazawa Pikachu. I sent in a bunch more of these in like my January submission, and I'm just like tapping off and submitting the rest in this sub. This might get boring, but a lot of this stuff, as I said, is going to be stuff you've seen on the channel if you watch a lot of my other videos. And it's also like a lot of duplicates. That's just like how I do it. I buy a lot of the same card at once when I find a price that I like. So when I submit stuff in, it's just how I operate in general. If there's a card or something that I'm looking after, like a spec, I'll just buy for a week straight. I'll buy every single listing that I think is a good price for a week, and I'll just accumulate a bunch. And then I'll sit on it for a couple weeks and then send them the grade. It's a very simple process, and that's why you're going to see a lot of bulk. So here we have 4 Shibuya Pikachus. Purchased these in like August, I think, before like they really started to hit their stride, sending the rest in for grading. Here's a random Venusaur Legendary Collection reverse. I purchased this in like a random eBay listing. It was like $50 for this and 17 other holo rares. But I just love it, and you know, $50. I'd pay $50 for this card by itself. I sold the other holo rares from the binder page, covered the cost, so it's a free card for me. Alakazam base set 2. This one was like in decent condition, so I thought I would get it with subgrades. This is a fan favorite, which is Houndoom holo. Really beautiful artwork. This is the Charizard from the Vivid Voltage deck, the Cracked Ice holo version. I think I'm sending in 3 and a 4. Charizard V full arts from Champions Path Elite Trainer boxes. I'm sending in a Shining Ho-Oh. This is a random full art I pulled, the Beauty full art. I opened some packs with my friends on Discord, and this is like the, this is the best card that I got, so I decided to grade it. Okay, this is quite a few. Let me peel them back. I think this is 10 Charizards, Holo Rares, Japanese. This is the same artwork that came from Vivid Voltage, but in Japan, Astonishing Volt Tackle, it was a Holo Rare. So they were like $3 a piece, so I just picked up, I think, 30 of them. Yeah. Next up, we just have some amazing rares. These are pretty cheap in Japan. I paid $2 a piece for these, but just cool cards. They're going to come to English soon as well, but I just decided to submit what I had, like a portion of what I had, just to, as I said, I need inventory now, so I'm just submitting everything that I'm sitting on. Next up, we have these signed Marnie cards. You saw these in the express portion of this video, but I bought 10 of them. So I'm expressing half and grading the other half at bulk. The idea behind that is I want to get half back as soon as possible to get them listed, and the other half I could just wait. And this also brings my cost average down. So it's $30 to grade express, $11 to grade bulk. So right in the middle for all 8 of them, I'm paying like $20 a piece. It's not a huge margin, but it just makes sense in my mind. Get some stock in now, get some inventory in later, and just kind of just like you want to spread out your allocation of inventory so you have stuff to list and sell for months. Here we have this Lily Cosmog promo card from the Japanese exclusive box. Talked about this in my January video. Japan exclusive Lily artwork, you can't go wrong. This is a no rarity Zapdos, missing rarity symbol on the bottom. Here we have a bunch of Charmander shinies. This card is just going to get hotter and hotter. Just the amount of love that this little guy gets is nuts. I'm submitting all the ones that I purchased in Japan. I paid like $8 a piece for them. Here we have a bunch of Professor Elms. Professor Elms. I love this artwork. I think this is one of the best full art trainers. It's not really like, it's a popular card, but I don't think it's popular as it should be, considering it has Cyndaquil, Chikorita, and Totodile. But I have so many of them. So I'm submitting like, I think 10 right here in. Sabrina Suggestion. Nice card. Not really much to say. I've spoken about like the whole waifu idea of submitting like these girl cards to get graded. Same concept for Misty's Tears, or Misty's Favor. Next up are just some random Charizards I had. This one I think was from Tag Team, or maybe Team Up. One of those. We have a Charizard Braxian Team Up. Tag Team, sorry. And then Charizard Reshiram Tag Team. This is, I think this is a Japan exclusive Pikachu artwork. This was like a card shop promo. I think it was something like if you bought like packs of cards from like your local LCS in Japan, they would include this card. Just a promo card, which is nice artwork. A bunch of these Reg challenges that I've talked about. Red is an iconic character. I'm submitting these. You saw the Pikachu in the Express category, but this is the Sobble and Milotic. It's like a 3-pack set of the Pikachu, Sobble, Milotic for the the promo boxes. So this is the Sobble from it. Just a Japan exclusive artwork again with the reverse holo. You can't go wrong. And the Pikachus pay for themselves. So the Pikachus that I showed are going to pay for like all 3 of these promos. So this is just free money at this point that I'm sending in. Milotics. Here is the Pikachu full art from Astonishing Volt Tackle. This one is pretty expensive in Japan now, but when I bought it, it was, I think, $30 for the Japanese. So I loaded up on that. Oh, I guess I threw in some more of these Pika Pika promos later on in my submission when I was filling out the form. Here is those Clefairy cards. This is what I was talking about. Like, I'm submitting half in Express, half in bulk, just so I could kind of like get some value and some cards listed as soon as possible, and kind of, I don't know the word I'm trying to think of, but like kind of spread out my inventory, try to get stuff out within get stuff back at different times so I can have time to sell out of the original inventory. Here we have Zoroark and Greninja gold cards. I mean, gold, I've talked about gold cards and how much I think these were undervalued, and the price action on these kind of like speaks to that idea that they're going up. The same idea with these Garatinas. Just, I think I bought 10 of them, and I'm submitting almost every copy I have because of that idea, or how much they've got, how expensive they got it. Here are those signed Marnie cards. I'm sending express as well. Same ideas, half it now, half later, just to spread out my returns, get inventory up on the site. Here are just some random staff cards I had lying around. Here is the Crimson Invasion Salazzle staff, has the set stamp and the staff card promo stamp. A Alolan Sandslash from Guardian Rising with the staff promo right there. This is the Munch promo set. I've been submitting these to CGC for, I think, 4 months now. No, December was my first time. So 2 months. So 2 months of submissions, you're going to see me getting back these. Here's Psyduck, 2 Psyducks, and a Rowlith. Really nice cards. This is a really expensive card now, too. Sapporo Pikachus. I paid like, I think, $20 a piece raw months ago, and these have ballooned in value. So I just decided these copies weren't that best of condition, but at what I paid for them and what they're going for now, I might as well get them slabbed. Here's one of those reverse Holo Kanazawa Pikachus, but this one has damage on the back. I don't know if you can see it, like right in this corner up here. It's like chipping. So it's like one of those things where I'm pretty sure that brings it down to an 8 or 8.5. So it's not as valuable, so I can afford to just have it sit in bulk for a while. Next up, we have these Snorlax Korokoro promos. I talked about this in my most recent speculative investment video, but I think these cards are good. So I'm just submitting a bunch of them in. I think this might be all of them. No, I think half of them are in this, just because when I start submitting stuff in, I just do it all at once. No, on the back here, I just wrote what it was. CGC doesn't have this in their system yet, but I was recommended by an employee to just write the card name, the set code, and then like where it's from, so they can try to expedite adding it to their system. And finally, for here, it's going to be these Pokemon Center Lady purchase promos. Ooh. Purchase promos, yeah, just Pokemon Center Lady with the set stamp in the bottom. If you're still here, I kind of commend you. This is an extremely long video, but this is like the last of the cards that we're going to go over. This is the very end of my bulk with subgrades, so I'll try to make this fast. Here we have Lily's Full Force. I talked about this in my most recent investment video. I think this card still has room to grow, so I'm sending in all the copies that I have to get graded. Here is Mina. There we go. Just I don't know. This is probably really boring, but like I buy a card and I buy 10 of them at once. So when I buy 10 at once, then I typically submit around 5 at once for grading. So I'll submit half now, and like in a month or two, I'll submit the other 5 or the other half. Here's the Mars full art. 3 of these because I didn't get that many. More Minas. I think this is the Japan exclusive one. This is the one from Tag Team All Stars. SM12A. Here's Kahili. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not sure if this was correct, but they didn't have this card in for Japanese. I might have typed something in wrong, but I just wrote the information on the back for CGC to add it to their system. Here we have a bunch of Whitneys. I like this card artwork. Same idea, just waifu tax. Gotta kind of capitalize on the amount of hype there is for full art trainer cards, full art female trainers. Here we have Charizard EX. I don't know. I think this is from a deck in Japan, but I love the artwork. I'm just going to submit a bunch in. And they're cheap. Those are like $5 a piece. Maybe $10 now, but $10 a piece for that I think is still undervalued. A bunch of these hyper rares I spoke about in my last my most recent investment video, but the Japanese hyper rare market is super undervalued. Blastoise Piplup, same thing with these Blastoise. Just submitting all these in. And next up we have some Venusaur and Celebies. This one is, I spoke about these really recently. It is these Pikachu 7-Eleven promos. Nice artwork for Pikachu, nice little holo, and with the 7-Eleven stamp. Simple concept, it's a Japan exclusive promo Pikachu. Next up, we have these, it's not surfing Pikachu, I realized this after the fact. It's something like playing with the sea Pikachu. Same idea though, people just call it surfing Pikachu. But yeah, really nice. And it wasn't, I mistakenly said it was a Pokemon Center opening promo. This was a pack purchase promo in Japan. I'm sending in, I think, 9 victory medals, like 2006 victory medals. I really believe in this card. I stand by it. I think there's a lot of room to grow. As like the Pokemon market continues to grow, people are going to eventually turn to the trophy cards once they get priced out of actual trophy cards, which most people are already priced out of regular trophy cards. They're going to turn to the pseudo trophy cards. So I think that a lot of the victory medals have room to like double within the next couple months. So yeah, here's silver medal from 2006. Here we have just these shiny Poi pulls. These were just a pack promo for purchasing, I think, Lost Thunder in Japan. Here we have my Lucario and Melmetal GXs, just some gold cards. And these are like the last ones I could get before the shops that I buy from raised their prices. Here we just have these Team Up full arts. I got corrected. I said these were from Hidden Fates. They are from Team Up. But yeah, just random full art girl cards. Like, there's not much. I don't really care much for these characters, but I just know that they'll sell pretty well. Here we have some Blues Tactics, I believe. Nice little blue full art trainer. One of my favorite cards is this Professor Oak card. I think this does so much in terms of how nice the artwork is. That also just drives nostalgia with like the whole concept of Professor Oak offering you those Pokeballs. It's like the way a lot of people started off their Pokemon journey as a kid was playing Red and Blue and talking to Professor Oak and meeting the seed, and to have that scene in a card, it's just such good stuff. Steven full art. Here's the red and blue tag team. Just simple. Here is that Empoleon alt art. They didn't have this in the system, but like that makes sense because it's a super new card. But Empoleon V, Rapid Strike Masters, I think it's Rapid Strike. 2020, this is the alt art. Really, really nice card. And I can't wait to see how this grades. Because I have another one. I got 3, and one of them was kind of damaged from the seller, so I'm a little disappointed. But I love how that card looks. Here's Charizard. This is in Dragon Majesty, I believe, in English. Here is, this is a personal card. I'm a huge Nidoking collector. A couple of my friends know that. But this is like the web series. I mentioned web series Nidoking. And because it's a card going into my personal collection, I'm going to get graded with subgrades. And I think the last cards that we're going to see are just some Japanese EX era cards. I got these in December. I think I bought these in December, made a video early January of like $5,000 haul. This was like part of a $4,000 binder collection that I purchased in Japan. So I'm just sending in all the EXs to get graded. And if you watch my last video, I sent in around 70 EX cards already. And this is like another 20 or so. But yeah, Hitmonchan EX, Metagross EX, Aggron EX. I mean, these cards are so nice. And Japan EX is hard to come by. And it's still relatively undervalued because I don't think people have really bought up the market because they've realized how rare this stuff is. Mewtwo EX. I love this Deoxys artwork. And my personal thoughts on that is just to say the English EX cards you had to buy from sets. Like you had to find them from booster packs and whatnot. So it's very expensive to it's the chase card from the sets. What Japan did instead was they released EX cards as part of half decks or as pre-construction decks. So they're a lot more common, but just think conceptually, it's more or less the same thing. It's the same card, same artwork. Japan technically came first as well. So like, why would you pay 4 or 5 times the price for the English version when you could just snag the Japanese for a good deal? Rayquaza. I really like this Vileplume, but it has damage on the back, I remember. Like a fat crease on the bottom. I'm expecting like maybe a 4 out of this, but throw this up for $30, $40. I assume someone will buy that up. Flareon, 2 camera ups, a Cradily EX. I actually have the English version of this card. And the English does have the nice E-reader border, but still just gonna get the Japanese slabbed. Cacturn, and the last 2 are going to be this Clefable EX. Not a huge fan of this artwork, but I am a huge fan of this Typhlosion EX artwork. Love this card. Can't wait to get all this stuff back. But my only fear is that with CGC's rising popularity in trading cards, they seem kind of overwhelmed and backed up right now. I really would not be surprised if I don't see these cards back until maybe June at their current turnaround time. But I'll make a video then and I'll go over my returns. Because you guys support me for all this, and I really do appreciate it. That's it for this video. 400 cards going off the CGC for grading. My biggest submission yet. I doubled from my January 200 card submission video. So this is a lot of cards. This is going to be a long video, but if you did get to this point, I do appreciate you watching it all. All right, have a nice one, and thanks for watching.